Imagine thousands of people screaming at your children, and the only thing you're allowed to do is smile. Pause. That is exactly what happened to Princess Kate, in front of the entire world, on one of Britain's most watched days of the year. And the way she handled it, nobody saw it coming. Trooping the color. Millions watching live. Cameras on every corner. The mall lined with thousands of people waving flags. And right in the middle of all of it, boos. Beat. Not directed at a scandal hit royal. Not at Prince Andrew. At Kate. And her 3 children. George, Charlotte, Louis. Aged just 12, 11, and 8. And the crowd was screaming, "Not my queen." Pause. But here's what nobody is really talking about. Kate's reaction in that carriage revealed something about her that even her biggest critics weren't prepared for. Stay with me, because this story gets deeper than you think. June, Central London. Trooping the color. The King's official birthday parade. Every year, the British royal family puts on one of the most spectacular displays of military tradition in the world. Bands playing, soldiers marching, the mall decorated in red, white, and blue. Thousands of people lining the streets just to catch a glimpse. And this year, all eyes were on one carriage in particular. The Ascot Landau. Inside it, Princess Kate, 44 years old, dressed in an elegant blue Catherine Walker ensemble. Matching wide-brimmed Philip Tracy hat. Beside her, her 3 children, George, Charlotte, and little Louis. All of them waving, all of them smiling. It looked like a fairy tale. Pause. And then it wasn't. A group called Republic had positioned themselves along the mall. Their mission? Abolish the monarchy. Full stop. They came with banners. Big ones. Stop the reign. And they came with chants. Not my king. Not my queen. Over and over. And as Kate's carriage rolled past, those chants reached her. Beat. She heard it. Every word. And here's the moment the internet couldn't stop replaying. She turned her head. Slowly. Just once. One cool, almost icy glance in their direction. No flinch. No tears. No visible anger. Just a look. And then back to waving at the crowd. Like absolutely nothing had happened. Long pause. Now wait until you hear what was actually going on inside that carriage. Think about this for a second. You are a mother. You are sitting in a carriage with your children on one of the most filmed days of the year. And strangers are screaming that you are not their queen. George is 12. He understands every single word. Charlotte is 11. Switched on sharp, she gets it too. And Louis is 8. Still a child in every sense. These 3 kids are sitting right there, hearing it all. Beat. In that moment, Kate had to do 2 things simultaneously. Keep her children calm, and show the world that the royal family cannot be rattled. She did both, without breaking a single sweat. This next part, though, completely changes the mood of this story. Because in the middle of all this tension, 8-year-old Prince Louis was doing what Louis always does. Absolutely refusing to sit still. He was spotted ducking down to peek through a half-open carriage window, then leaning sideways, almost falling over. Just to get a better view of the flypast. Pure, unbothered, joy, pause. And honestly, that image right there is the most powerful thing about this entire story. A little boy, just excited to see airplanes, completely unaware that the world around him was anything other than wonderful. But here's where things take a much darker turn. Let's talk about Republic, and what they actually wanted. Because this wasn't just a group of people who don't like the monarchy. Their chief executive, Graham Smith, was very specific. He said the main message of the protest was to hold the royal family accountable. Accountable for what they knew about Prince Andrew's friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Pause. That name. Epstein. The convicted American financier. The pedophile whose connections reached the highest levels of power across the globe. And Republic believes the royal family has never been properly questioned about what they knew. Their plan was to protest right outside Buckingham Palace, visible to the royals on the balcony. But the Metropolitan Police had other ideas. Protesters were confined to a designated zone along the mall, far from the palace, far from the cameras. Graham Smith called the restrictions, and I'm quoting him here, contemptible. He said they'd be kept in a place where we won't be seen by the royals. Beat. The police's official reason for the restrictions? To avoid serious disruption, and to protect the horses. Pause. The horses. Make of that what you will. But let's zoom out for a moment. Because there's a bigger story here that most people are completely missing. This is Kate Middleton, the woman who spent most of last year out of public life, who went through cancer treatment, quietly, privately, who slowly, carefully rebuilt herself, her health, her confidence, her public role. And on this day, her first major trooping the color back in full form. This is what greeted her. Pause. Boos. For her children. Anyone else might have broken, might have shown something. But Kate? One glance. Ice cold. And then, forward. Beat. After the carriage procession ended, she walked out onto the Buckingham Palace balcony. With King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, Princess Anne, the whole family. And she watched the fly past. 10 waves of aircraft roaring over the palace. Typhoon jets, Chinook helicopters, C-17 transport planes, and the red arrows, trailing red, white, and blue smoke across a London sky. Thousands cheering below. And Kate stood there, smiling. Long pause. Remember what I said at the very beginning of this video? Imagine thousands of people screaming at your children, and the only thing you're allowed to do is smile. Kate didn't imagine it. She lived it. And she smiled anyway. Beat. Is that weakness? Or is that the most controlled, disciplined, quietly powerful thing you've ever seen from a royal? That is the question this moment leaves us with. So now I want to hear from you. Was Kate's reaction a sign of incredible strength? Or is it just the royal mask, hiding everything beneath the surface? And what about Republic? Do they have a legitimate point about accountability? Or is targeting a mother and her children crossing a line that should never be crossed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Team Kate, Team Republic, or Team Louis, who just wanted to see the airplanes? Smile. If this video got you thinking, hit like, share it with someone who loves royal news, and subscribe so you never miss what happens next. Because trust me, this royal story is far from over.